The symbols of Doomsday mean. Alright, let's see.
Doomsday teasers are all ending with this countdown clock framed in the film's official A logo with an intricate green stained glass frame, with the circle containing that frame all lined with, if you look closely, a series of mysterious symbols or runes. What do these symbols mean? Have we seen them in the MCU before? Are they connected to the runes of any other sorcerer who may or may not be appearing in Avengers Doomsday? I think I have a pretty good explanation of what these symbols are, what this entire clock structure is, and I'm gonna explain it all in this video. But before I get into it, if you remain curious what this fifth Avengers movie was going to be before they swapped out Kang for Dr. Doom, New Rockstars is hosting a live staged reading of the leaked 2023 Avengers: The Kang Dynasty screenplay. That's probably bogus, but it's going to be very funny
able to
hear
post on
me,
Discord.
Jessica Clemens, Gina Ippolito Berg, and some other special guests
from my
all
Ots account.
reading it aloud for you. It's going to be Friday, January 8th, for Avengers stained glass background behind where you can see the numerical countdown. So is this entire thing a type of clock device? Is it Dr. Doom's literal countdown clock to the end of the multiverse? The clock he has to beat by capturing all of the anchor beings of every universe? Well, maybe it is. The stained glass window opens a few possibilities. It could be the window of Doom's Citadel, maybe even the same castle that once belonged to the Kang variant He Who Remains that Dr. Doom might have just taken over. But the fact that the glass is contained within a circular portal reminds me of Doctor Strange's observation window in the Sanctum Sanctorum. And here's a good place to remind you that in the opening shot of Loki Season 1 Episode 5, as the camera glided through the void, there was a pruned Sanctum Sanctorum over on the left side of screen. And when we revisited the void in Deadpool and Wolverine, Cassandra Nova mentioned having taken a sling ring from a Doctor Strange in the void somewhere. So now that it seems like Doom is going to turn this void dumping ground into Battleworld, that pruned sanctum and whatever happened to the Doctor Strange there could be a very important connection. But let's talk about the symbols. You can see exactly 43 markers, but in reality there are only 17 distinct ones. Starting with the lower left part of the circle, there's a wheel-like rune, and then that same symbol repeats as a kind of coda at the upper right on the other side of the tip of the A, and then the same 17 symbols repeat until we go back to the wheel-like symbol, and then we repeat again for another 9 to give us a total of 43. Now, I should say none of these 17 symbols have appeared looking quite like this in the MCU before. I'm kind of the expert on this, and I checked. No, they are not Wanda or Agatha's runes that they used in their witch battle at the end of WandaVision. No, the little cauldron looking one in the bottom right probably isn't meant to be a witch's cauldron. There could be some similarity with the runes conjured by Zelma Stanton and Ironheart, but knowing how these designs are constructed, there is a difference between squiggles that a VFX artist makes for a Disney Plus series and squiggles that the marketing team puts on a bumper card in a poster or a trailer. How do I know this? Well, I've interviewed a lot of the people who do these jobs in videos on New Rockstars. But here's a fun thing. I'm sure there's gonna be those of you who hear the number 17 and go apeshit, as it's a recurring random prime number that has appeared in several titles in the MCU. Actually, we're getting close to 17 17s so far. In this Reddit comment, I broke them all down. So yeah, maybe we are seeing the 17th 17 right here in the MCU. Maybe each of the 17 symbols refers to the 17 anchor beings that Doom is hunting from the 17 universes he's most focused on. I expect Avengers Doomsday to only center around the last 3 universes in existence, 616, 828, and 10005, but maybe Avengers Secret Wars will show Battleworld as a patchwork of like 17 total Marvel universes, including Universe 96283, that's the universe where Tobey Maguire is Spider-Man, aka the Raimi-verse, or Universe 120703, that's the universe where Andrew Garfield is Spider-Man, or Universe 121698, which would be the universe of the 2005 and 2007 Fantastic Four movies, a continuity that exists in the MCU now since Chris Evans showed up as Johnny Storm. Add that to the Blade universe that was confirmed MCU canon by Wesley Snipes showing up in Deadpool and Wolverine, or the Ben Affleck Daredevil universe that was confirmed as canon from Jennifer Garner showing up in that movie, plus the 838 universe from Multiverse of Madness, and then whatever universe the Hulk Village that we're probably going to see in Secret Wars based on the concept art, along with whatever new universe the concept art version of that new T'Challa comes from. Yeah, you can see how we can get up to 17 pretty quickly. Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. When I was young, or is over there's sometimes places ask me that repeat since it's even easier there with overfit the link, but actually numbers that just repeat. For the numbers here, folks, if the real number we should be focusing on is the 43 total numbers that just repeat, because you know maybe an artist just didn't want to design 43 distinct symbols, is this in the map of Battleworld from Jonathan Hickman's 2015 Secret Wars crossover comics. There are exactly, I'm not kidding, 43 divisions of Battleworld. There's 41 on the main list, but one of those is just the wall that's like made up of Ben Grimm that separates the other divisions, and Manhattan is actually subdivided into 4 distinct parts. So from that, you really do get 43 regions of Battleworld coming from 43 different universes. And maybe the total number of visible runes in the Doomsday trailer could just refer to that. But really the important detail is that we are seeing Doctor Doom using runes at all. And since they're runes that we've never seen before, it's safe to say that Doom will be using a kind of magic that sorcerers like Doctor Strange and Wong and Loki have never seen before. It's a completely different kind of magic, and that is a reason to fear him. Actually, in this week's Avengers Doomsday teaser number 3 featuring the X-Men, I speculated that the reason Cyclops is getting so roughed up by the Sentinels attacking the X-Mansion is that those Sentinels are being powered by the magical runes of Doctor Doom. And we know runes will be part of this movie. At the Disney Marketing Expo in Shanghai in September of 2025, there was a holo projector display showing Doctor Doom and some of the moves he's gonna do in Doomsday, including Hurking Thanos. It's imagery that I broke down in this video, but there are definitely some moments where Doctor Doom is conjuring a kind of green sorcery in the shape of runes. I feel like that is part of the same codex that we're seeing here. But the fact that these runes are organized in a circle is also important. It reminds me of the ring of runes that Doctor Strange conjured with the Runes of Kafkal memory wipe spell in Spider-Man No Way Home. Specifically the giant ring we see around the Statue of Liberty at the end of the movie to heal the multiversal rifts. Now we could be getting somewhere, because I gotta say, a lot of those squiggly lines do look like some of the squiggles in the runes of the Doomsday Clock. If there is a connection there, it would be very important, because remember, here's what Wong said about the Runes of Kafkal.
That spell travels the dark borders between known and unknown reality. It's too dangerous.
I think the idea of that warning was this spell uses a ring of runes to cause and fix breaches in the fabric of reality, an incursion.
What if the time that Doctor Strange was gone, he learned some shit and that's the new magic? What if Doctor Strange is the key and the reason all of this even starts?
Based spell. Don't we now see how this might be useful for Doctor Doom and Doomsday? Maybe this is his portal for how he moves through different universes, taking advantage of incursions that have already been cracked in those borders. Also, this whole idea of Doctor Doom using magic also reminds me of this interesting detail about the TVA in the Loki series.
He's trying to use his powers, ma'am.
Damn it, why would it work?
Magic powers. They're no good in the TVA, Mr. Laufeyson.
Yes, a key rule that kept Loki in check in season 1. Magic does not work in the TVA. Why was that rule in place to begin with? Was it to keep magic practitioners like Doctor Doom from breaking into the TVA and seizing what Kang had built? And since the Loki series ended with Loki becoming the god of stories, tapping into some of his actual sorcery outside of the walls of the TVA in the temporal loom zone, are those anti-magic protocols no longer in effect for the whole TVA? I mean, damn, I think we just figured out how Doctor Doom sacks the TVA and gets his new Citadel. And remember, we never found out what that 4th broken statue was in a Citadel lobby when Loki and Sylvie first arrived in Loki season 1 episode 6. My guess is that they were gonna establish that there was some past conflict in the Citadel among the Kang variants, but now Marvel could use this opportunity to establish some backstory that Doctor Doom once tried to take over the Citadel but failed, and now he's come back for vengeance. So do you think that by showing a Citadel looking window on this movie's logo, that Doctor Doom really will take over this castle, the Citadel at the end of time, from the Loki series as his own sanctum from which to apply his magic to wage his war on the multiverse?
Loki
Comment down below your
too.
theories. And starting Saturday, January 10th, New Rockstars will embark upon a new Marvel Rewatch podcast series called New Rockstars Presents The Road to Doomsday. Every week in 2026, we will have a new episode where we revisit a Marvel film, a trilogy of films, or a full series of TV to assemble the ultimate Marvel Rewatch podcast to discuss why these films were so important to the Marvel Cinematic Legacy and what characters or details could come back in Avengers Doomsday. The first couple episodes in January will include the Blade trilogy rewatch, the X-Men trilogy rewatch, and the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy rewatch. We'll see you on the road. And a special thanks.
Wait, they're watching going back that far? Oh, we gotta go back that far. Damn. We gotta go back that far. I'm not gonna lie.